So now let's see the demo on first the select AI capabilities, the chatbot that we just discussed, and then also the Apex assistant, which helps in developing the application. So let's see the first part. So for the ease of understanding, what I've done is uh, I'm not going too much into detail of what this is, but this is basically my database on Oracle Cloud, and I have a bunch of tables. So let's say I have org related tables like employees, salaries, departments. I have some invoice related information like invoice details, invoice lines details. I have some fixed asset tables, that assets, asset transactions. So yeah, I mean, so I have a some data ready, and I have already enabled all the configurations for the Gen AI on these tables, so that users can interact with the Gen AI through natural language prompt and just converse with it and get the queries written by AI. And they won't even see the query. They literally just see the direct output as a report. So let's see the output. So this is the application. Basically, this is the chatbot. Okay, and all we are going to do is you can see there's a question prompt box here, and this is basically where the conversations will appear. So as I mentioned, I have some information about invoices and all employees. So let's say list all invoice details with lines. I mean, these are just some examples. Naturally, as we configure more, as we tweak our data structure more, we will see how good the results are. But as you can see, we have not written, just for your understanding, we have not written any complex code or query to get this data out. This is all done by AI. So it's literally doing what I just showed in the diagram. It's literally trying to understand what I'm dictating. It's trying to connect to the tables that I showed you. It's building the query in the background, and literally it's coming up with the report for me. Uh, if we click on details, you get a full-fledged report. You can download it. You can just play on that data. You can download it in your format, or you can even email it to yourself. So it's literally like a dynamic report generated for the end user. So let's see. I'm just putting some prompts that I have ready for some the demo purpose. So let's say departments and employees. So I just ask list all the departments with employee details. So it's telling me in the payables department, in the receivables department, who works in which department basically. Uh, I can even query particular thing like okay. Uh, how many employees with salary greater than some X number. So it's going to understand all sorts of questions, and it's going to give me all sorts of information. So if I say on the asset details that we saw, if I'm going to ask, okay, show all the asset transactions with cost less than say 100,000. So it's going to connect the asset table, the asset transaction table, and it's going to give me all the details. Uh, if I have a particular query, literally particularly about a, a, a given asset, then you can even ask that question, show transaction details for the asset number, and then you can just tell the asset number. Sometimes it takes time based on how the LLM, engine is responding, how good is your key and all. Sometimes it may not respond well. So that's where the actual heavy lifting comes in picture, where we need to do some more job, where we need to tweak the data model correctly so that AI understands it the right way. And also, this also involves some kind of training, end user training, so that they can come up with the right type of prompts, which is basically prompt engineering. These days, everybody must be hearing that term. So that is basically learning how precisely and feed the prompt to the AI engine. So for example, I ask details for this asset number, and there you go. There you have all the details. So this is very helpful in generating dynamic reports. Just converse with your database. How many assets having payables cost greater than X? It's going to tell them. So this is very handy if somebody like today I have this data configured for demo purpose, for example. Once we have the full application ready, uh, someone can simply ask, okay, how many invoices are due in this month for this XYZ supplier? And it will tell them, okay, it's like 100 invoices are due. Here are the details. So all you have is a ready-made information just by conversing with the database. So it's very helpful that ways. Uh, Now another question that comes to someone's mind or may occur, that how do I secure my data, right? I mean, uh, okay, agreed that I have gotten all the data on ADB. I've enabled AI. Now I want to restrict some information to some sort one type of a batch of users, and some other information should be only shown to some other types of users. So, for example, I have payroll data in this. I can't show payroll data to every single user who logs into this application, but certainly a payroll administrator or a employee manager, they should be seeing the information based on their roles and everything. So all that can be implemented as part of this whole Gen AI Select AI feature. There are many configurations, as I mentioned, that happen in the background. We can do the segregation of data. We can do the segregation of duties. We can check the user who has logged in. He has which role, and based on that, which AI profile he should be able to see. So, for example, we create a AI profile uh, only for the payroll data separately, just for an example, and we expose it only to the people who are having, say, payables administrator role. So now only they can see, they can put questions about payroll data, and they can get the query output. uh, if I'm not one of them, I just query that, AI is not going to tell me anything. So right now, for example, right now I don't even have payroll data configured here, but if I ask a question, okay, show me so I'm pretty sure it's not going to find any table or any relevant metadata that can give me. Okay, so it's payroll was a wrong example because I do have employee and salary table. But see, right now this is a good example because right now I have configured employee details. Let's go here, and if you see here, so org employees, org salaries. So there is no word or there is nothing that's telling AI that this table should be used for payroll. But because it's AI, it automatically understood that I'm looking for salary information. So, but if I say, okay, let's say instead of payroll, let's say purchase order information. I don't think I've configured any purchase order data, but looks like it's responding. Okay, so it's going in some of the tables where the PO details are. So unfortunately I have a lot of information configured. I have to come up with some random example to show you how it will respond if that information is not found. So let's see. Let show me all. Receivables details. I hope it doesn't find it. Uh, it's going to spin for a while if it doesn't find, because it's going to scan through the whole metadata dictionary, and it's going to basically say, okay, sorry, we couldn't find anything for you. So something like that can be shown to the end users if they are not authorized to. But this is just one example. We can always customize those responses based on what we need to show the end users based on what kind of restrictions we have applied. Yeah. So yeah, sorry, unfortunately, valid select statement. So this is pretty much a technical response. We are not going to show this to end users, but uh, that's where the custom responses will come in picture. So yeah, so that's kind of how these Gen AI can be used for creating chatbots and conversing directly with the database to get the dynamic reports created. Now let's see the second option that I discussed about, which is how the Apex assistant can help us. So now we are in Apex. This is the development environment. Very similar to how I was showing you the employee tables. Let's see. Over here, I have a bunch of tables, again, sitting on the Oracle database. Let's say, okay, I have project details, I have country details, the tasks under projects, customers. So just for demo purpose, right, like right now, I've just kept this information. Now, what I'm going to do is, so I'm a developer. So I'm basically playing a role of not the end user, like a user of the chatbot, but I'm showing you how a developer can benefit from this. So traditionally, if so, this is a development environment, and here is where I create the application. So traditionally, if I want to create an application which basically takes actions on the project's data, then connects it with the tasks, underlying tasks, and also generates dashboards for me, or gives me a search page, so many possibilities. What I have to do is, typically I have to create an application. I have to name the application, create it. It's going to create a blank application for me. Let's this is just to show you how tedious the process normally is. I won't say tedious, but it's pretty fast. But still, you have to go through so many steps. So now this application is absolutely empty. I have to create a page. I have to create pages for each of the functionality I want, including like I want to see projects, I want to see tasks, I want to give users features to to create new tasks, see the faceted search, interactive reports, or charts. So every single thing I'll have to create a dedicated page, write some code in it, and then come up with the final output, which is what we had been doing so far, and which will continue. Don't worry about that. But uh, just to get things, speed up the development approach, what we can do is this is where Gen AI comes handy. So I click on create. Instead of creating the application typical way, there is an option now because I have configured Gen AI in this environment, and the option is create an app using Gen AI. Now, this is where the assistant comes in. So this is the inbuilt chatbot. Okay. Now it says describe the app you want to create, including the data, tables, or whatever you want to. You can. So let's say, so this is an example I've prepared. For example, create an app to maintain project milestones, project tasks, projects, the task to dos, status, and that includes pages for chart, dashboard, interactive report, and search. So I'm literally feeding all sorts of demands in one prompt. So let's see how Gen AI understands that. So it's going to pretty much in the background, similar stuff is happening as we saw in the custom chatbot that I built. The Gen AI is literally going and understanding, first of all, what you are asking for. It's connecting to metadata, finding stuff for you. And then it's asking you for a final confirmation that this is what I understood and this is what I'm going to create. Are you okay with that? So it says, okay, project progress review will be based on this table. It identified that. It's going to automatically create a dashboard for you. It's going to create a project's overview report, which is based on this table. Tasks search will be which will be based on the task table, and also it's going to enable a bunch of bells and whistles, some extra features because it's all automated. So I'm going to say create application. And okay, so it also automatically came up with some relevant name for me. I don't have to worry. And naturally, we can change these things. Like I can just write something if this doesn't suit me. And then as you can see here, it's automatically creating these pages for me. This is going to be the project progress overview dashboard, then project management dashboard. Then this is the interactive report, which, you know, lets me slice or dice the data of projects, and then the search based on task. And now if I just say create application, it's going to literally create everything for me automatically. And then later we can always change or tweak things as we want. So as you can see, it literally created so many pages for me based on what we told AI to do based on the natural language prompt. So now let's just log in. So I logged into the application, and as you can see, it has already created a bunch of things for me. And the first thing is project progress overview. Automatically a pie chart is created for me, a project management dashboard, and naturally we can change these things later, or maybe add more features to that, but even it can create a lot of more complex things based on how good our prompt is. It did create a report for me based on the project's details, and it did create a detailed faceted search for me, so literally you can slice and dice the task information through this page. So this was literally in just a fraction of seconds. Based on this is the output will be purely dependent on how good we are in prompting or asking the questions. But overall, it does the job pretty decently, even if the prompt is not that precise. Now, let's see if I'm going back to this. Okay, so this is our app, project management. And now, so this was how we can literally create a brand new app using AI. How about I want to, create a report explicitly in an existing app, and I want to use the one second. So let me just take an example. I'm creating a new this thing interactive report, and here let me do one thing. Let me just add a blank page. Okay, report. Okay, so now if I'm this is just an empty page. Now if I'm going to add a region, and let's say it's an interactive report. Now I want to write a query, which basically tells me, okay, what are things I should be having. Here also they have given AI assistant. So let me do, okay, write a query or, okay. So right now in this is particular database, I don't have employee information. But anything like that, let's say write a query for project information. There you go. So it basically is going to just do many of the things for you. You just click on insert and your query is ready. And if you want to add more features to that, naturally, you can change the query here. Uh, so I'll just cancel this out. Now let's see how it can write code for us. These were just the queries. Let's say I'm just creating some action, and instead of here, I'm just going to do execute code for me. But now I I need to write a code. I am like, you can literally write the full code to handle all the projects and tasks. But what if you want AI to do it so that you can get the main framework ready, and then you can just add more complex features to that. So you can dictate that, and it's going to understand that, okay, you are asking for a PL/SQL code. And if I just say insert, there you go, you have the full code ready, and it did understand that you are asking for projects and tasks. So it did create a code to insert data into the table, update the task details, delete it from that and all. And naturally we can tweak this later. So yeah, I mean, so that's how AI helps developers also, uh, in reducing the redundant tasks, or even create the super complex queries just based on natural language prompts.